Candace, tell me how you became a conservative.
I think for most people watching Trump run in 2016, something had to wake up inside of you to understand this was a man that was celebrated by the media. They could not get enough of Trump. If you're listening to rap and hip hop music, they glorified him. Everyone wanted to end up at Mar-a-Lago. They said they were acting like Trump. Then the second he ran, he became a racist instantly. So I think in that moment I understood that racism was being used as a theme and a mechanism to control Black Americans, and that the Black community needed new leaders to sort of see them through that complete lie.
You've made the case that Trump and his policies are better for the Black community. Why is that?
Of course, conservative policies are better for the Black community. If you think of everything that we've gone through historically, it is because of Democratic policies that we are worse off today than we were 60 years ago. And for sure, no one would be foolish enough to say that America is a more racist country today than it was 60 years ago. So what happened? LBJ happened, the Great Society Act happened, government dependency happened, welfare happened. All of this happened and came from the Democratic Party.
You know, our president at the Heritage Foundation, Kay Coles James, makes that same argument.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, when you're talking to young people at Turning Point USA, what is your message to them?
My message to them is just that the time is now. I think President Trump represents the first opportunity for Black Americans to get off of what I refer to as the ideological slave ship, to step outside of this lie and this myth and this illusion, and to understand that we've had our power essentially stripped from us, and we continue to allow that by being afraid of racism, which is no longer an actual threat in this society for Black Americans.
Now, obviously, you're outspoken. You're somebody who isn't afraid to engage on Twitter or in the media. What gives you that courage to stand firm on these principles?
Honestly, I was born aggressive. I think I came out like, shouting orders at everyone. I've been really strong-minded from the time I was a little girl, and I hate being told what to think. So propaganda just doesn't really work on me. And I'm not afraid. It takes fearlessness. You can't be afraid of being referred to as a coon or an Uncle Tom, which, by the way, Uncle Tom, for people that actually read the book, was the hero of the novel. We needed that term does not work. But it's going to take people with some courage to step up and say, you can call me whatever you want. This movement is happening. You can get on board, or you can watch it.
You know, we're approaching in the next couple of weeks the 50th anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination. How did MLK influence your life?
Well, I think the most important thing to understand is that what he wanted was a society where people would not be judged by the color of their skin. Everything that the Democrats are advocating for is for us to only be judged by the color of our skin, by our sex. Me as a Black woman, they want me to constantly remember that you are Black, you are a woman, and you cannot exist outside of that. So what we need to understand is that in many ways, we've gone backwards from the themes that he was teaching when he gave his I Have a Dream speech, right? His dream is being realized, but it's not being realized in the Democratic Party right now.
Candace Owens, thanks so much for joining the Daily
Thank you
Signal.
for having me.